Hello. Hello. Welcome to Founders Live Center Stage. I'm Nick Hughes. We got Luis Antezana. Luis, what's up?
Hey, Nick. Really happy to be here. I am so excited for this edition of Founders Live Center Stage coming to you live from Washington, D.C. Well, we're not, but they are. What's going on, Nick?
Oh, I just love this show. It gets your heart rate going. It's crazy as we set it up, everyone, and we're so excited to be joining today. This is what I would say I think this is our third installment of the real beta test as we get into the real show. Tonight we are so excited to actually go live into Founders Live, Washington D.C. as they have their event right now. You all might be watching from somewhere else in the world, but there are people starting to gather and hang out for the Founders Live event. So we are so pumped. Luis, before we get into the top of the show and really talk about what we're going to see going forward tonight, just share a little bit about what are you feeling? You excited? What are you excited about for tonight specifically for this center stage event?
Well, the coolest thing is there's a couple of cool factors going on here. This is Washington, D.C. is a newly relaunched city for us. We have a brand new city leader there, Monique Frey, who has been doing an amazing job. This is her second event, and so the first time she pulled one off was a virtual show, and now she's totally switching gears and doing an in-person event. So both kinds in her first two is pretty impressive. And to pull in the attendance, I think they're expecting 150 RSVPs for the show tonight, which is amazing. Especially coming out of COVID, people have been somewhat resistant, right, to get back in person. So seeing this kind of support for the founders, support for the city, that's really encouraging. So seeing her get this thing going is really cool. And then, of course, the other side of it all is that Founders Live is best experienced in person. We're trying to relay some of that excitement and some of that experience from our cloud position and some cameras that we have going as we join the in-person presentation. But it's just always great to be able to give everybody else in the world a peek into what it's like to be at an actual Founders Live event, not just one that happens virtually.
Oh yeah, totally. Hey, and I want to remind everyone. Notice, hey, you can if you're watching virtually here on YouTube, you can comment. We want your comments. As
Yes.
you know, Founders Live is about you and coming into the experience. So we're just getting started here. You're seeing that we can pull your comments on screen. This is how we bring you into our experience. So please share where you're joining from, and we would love to highlight you and your comment. But
Yeah. On
Luis,
that note, be ready when we go to the city to the presentations and people are doing the pitch competition. We're going to be seeking questions from the audience. That's you watching at home. So put those questions in the chat, and we will put those on screen. That's how we normally do it in a virtual show. At a live presentation, people will be asking from the audience, but we want to get you in the rhythm of asking questions in our chat and interacting there, because we'll throw those on screen and and keep people engaged in our show this way.
awesome. Well, hey, we're gonna walk through some great information here. Some of you might be new to Founders Live. This might be something of a new experience for you. We want to give some updates and share about what's going on here with Founders Live. So again, this is center stage. We are having this is a pre-show. We're going to review some stuff. We're actually going to do some previews of who you're going to see tonight from that is coming out of the Founders Live event in Washington, D.C. We're going to preview the 5 pitching startups. It's awesome. So we are attaching live to an event that's happening in Washington, D.C. It's so exciting. But, Founders Live is powering the pulse of entrepreneurship around the world. We've built out this ultimate entrepreneurial pitch competition and experience. This is the new Founders Live around inspiration, education, and of course, entertainment. This is the entertainment that we all look forward to now on a weekly basis. With our global ecosystem, there's also local events. Again, what you're going to see tonight with the event coming out of Washington, D.C. We're building out this, whether it's the homepage or it's almost like an entrepreneurial ecosystem that is almost an operating system. You're going to start seeing that come together real soon, that has all these valuable components, and then these live monthly events that happen around the world. As we build out this industry defining brand, it started in Seattle. Okay, that's our hometown. Luis lives there. This is actually where we're coming live from tonight. But we started in Seattle, and this has now expanded around the world. Founders Live has reached roughly 90 cities around the world in 28 countries. Luis, look at those dots. That's actually not even possibly an updated map.
No, it's not. We've got more, and a lot more coming. If you've seen some of our social posts, we're seeking city leaders in some of these places, but we have other cities that have brand new city leaders who are getting ready to launch. So this is such an exciting time for Founders Live to expand.
It's so cool. Just on that note, if you're interested in bringing Founders Live to your city, simply go to your browser, type in expand.founderslive.com, and you're going to be taken to a form. You can also find this on our website if you just go to founderslive.com. But if you type that little address in there, you fill out that form, we will get in touch with you, and we would love to launch Founders Live in your city and your country. Before we get into the show and the experience tonight, we want to obviously really touch on our core values. These are tremendously important. First one is respectful authenticity. This is really about inclusion. This is about respecting people and their differences. And we believe everyone has an equal opportunity to be successful. And that's really the underlying component of Founders Live and what we do around the world. So respectful authenticity is being yourself, but also respecting others in their unique selves. Secondly is gather around the campfire. We love storytelling. We infuse storytelling within these pitch competitions and these events. So, as we all are storytellers talking about our vision of the future, we encourage you to find your campfire and entertain those as a unique community. Thirdly, open the door. This is a big one. This is a really big one. We encourage people not just to do nice things. We want you to do great things for people without expecting a return. Open the door for them in introductions or other opportunities. You're going to see that happen here in the next few minutes. In terms of, we love to bring people on and give them more exposure and have interviews, and we open the door for those opportunities. Fourthly, business equals fun. So, we believe that when business happens, fun should be there as well. So have fun while doing business. This is what we're all about, and we encourage that for you all. This is our fifth one, actually, is a fairly new core value around climate consciousness. And we commit to operating our global business in a climate conscious manner, including measuring and lessening our footprint where possible. We also encourage you to think about or take the steps to do that as well. We need this world, and the world needs us to make those decisions. Luis, what do you think about all that, man?
Well, I love that we recently added that. And hey, we just had Earth Day on Friday, so it was a good occasion to bring that point up again. We took a climate pledge through Rice Strategy. If anybody's interested in finding out more about that, look on our Twitter, look on our LinkedIn, look up Rice Strategy. They can help you also introduce a climate conscious practice to your business.
Yep. Thank you. Shout out to Jacquelina there in Dallas.
Yeah.
Jaleel there in Washington, D.C. You're watching it remote. So cool. So exciting. Hey, everyone. Feel free to, again, share where you're joining from. You can share your thoughts on here. Get going and be a part of this conversation. We encourage you to do that. Well, you know what we have coming up? This is awesome. So we recently started a series to highlight our winners of Founders Live events from around the world. And we have one of our teammates, Nicholas Zeisler. Now, you'll probably hear us refer to him as Z. So we're going to bring on Z on stage. And we are also hosting an interview experience, and Z runs our Winner's Circle interview series. And what we're doing today is a fun gift that we're going to see a live interview with one of our winners, and Z is going to host it. We're going to bring on Andrew Denton from Glia Health, who won at actually a previous Founders Live event that was a part of a center stage streaming experience. So while we do that, Luis, why don't you tee up a little bit of a transition here, and I'm gonna bring up.
Yeah, we have that special little graphic.
Love it. We're gonna bring up Andrew and Z. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I'm dizzy from that graphic, but otherwise I'm all right.
Well,
you'll see it again, so be prepared.
Oh, all right. I can
so cool.
Wait for that.
Well, this is such a special experience, and Z, you as a host and an interviewer, we're handing off the microphone and the leadership spot to you. Luis and I are going to drop off. We're going to let you all have a great interview conversation for this Winner's Circle interview, and then we will jump back on in a little while.
You bet. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Luis. Andrew,
you
haven't had the proper introduction yet. Andrew Denton, Dallas, Texas. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see the competition today and seeing what the startups in DC are looking like.
Fantastic. Deja vu for you, since you did it just a few weeks ago down there in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you won for the Glia Health startup, and I love getting prepped for these interviews because there's always, I watch the pitch the video of the pitch competition and kind of watch you go through it. The audio is just like, gives me the feeling that you're in Dallas and I'm in Denver. But I want to start kind of non-traditionally. Normally what we do is we get together, so tell us about your, give us your pitch, but it doesn't have to be 99 seconds. Tell us about your startup and tell us about, what it is that you do and what Glia Health is. But you've got such a cool and compelling story, Andrew, that I want to kick it off with that. Before we even get to what your startup is, and before you even start to talk about your pitch or anything like that, tell us a little bit about the backstory, not just of Glia, but let's go even further back and let's talk about Andrew and how you even came around to where you are now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's I think one of the things that's most interesting about my life, one of the most interesting things about my life is that I moved 20 times before I was, 18 years old. So every 6 months I was constantly changing places. So it forced me to adapt and learn to talk to people of all different, nationalities, ethnicities, genders. It just really forced me to be flexible and learn to communicate quickly and effectively. And I love it. I really appreciate it. And so as such, I had to be really good at adapting. And so I was a really good student in school. I was a straight A student all the way through high school. And I would sleep in class, literally, and make A's. AP classes, didn't matter. I just excelled. I don't have to brag because very quickly, the behaviors that I learned in high school and in middle school didn't really translate to a successful college career. And so I unfortunately graduated college with a 2.7 GPA, didn't do that great. Entered the workforce after that and, worked some odd jobs, as in hardware sales and then also in pharmacy technician sales. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to get my life together. This is not really working out the way I planned it to be. And I just like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna do it the right way and really, see what I can make of myself, putting in that work that it deserved. And so I basically begged, pleaded, crawled, did whatever I could to get back and applied for a master's program at university. And they told me, hey, look, we'll let you in, but on probationary only, and you have to make a 3.5 GPA. And they said, if you make less than that, you're kicked out. And I said, look, I promise y'all I'll make a 4.0 and that'll be end of it. And so I worked 2 jobs, an internship for 2 years, and I was a man of my word and actually completed it. And so through that process of just really putting my head in the books and grinding out the work, I learned what I really loved, and that is neuroscience and brain health. I was like, man, how can I take this passion I've gotten for the brain and really use it to help people? And so that was kind of the birthing or the genesis of Glia Health. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to create affordable, at-home, accurate brain health care for everyone. And that started with creating a very simple measurement of a person's cranial nerves. And so you have 12 cranial nerves in your brain, and they govern the function from everything from shrugging your shoulders to smelling, hearing, seeing, and a whole myriad of other functions. And I thought, these nerves are so impactful in concussions and seizures, strokes. If I can find a way to bring early diagnostics to many of these disorders and diseases and acute injuries, then I can make a real impact. And so, that's kind of what I set out to do, and it's kind of where we are today.
So you went from falling asleep in class to neuroscience with, a little bit of a history in there in between it, right? So I want to dwell on that just a little bit, because that's one of the coolest things about entrepreneurs is they're simultaneously so creative and looking for new things and so excited about, the next neatest thing and inventing and so forth. But also there's this beauty in laziness, which is there's got to be a better, smarter, faster, easier, cheaper, more direct way, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know a bit about what motivated you. I mean, of all the things, neuroscience, obviously, okay, but was there something that was going on that made you interested in that?
It's kind of a bit of both, I guess. I had a real passion for the material. I mean, when I say I love to brain tease and tease brains, like I mean it. Like it's just it excites me in the morning. I think the 12 inches above our shoulders are the most complicated piece of machinery known to man, and I just think that's opens the door for numerous possibilities of not only excelling and improving the human experience, but also treating the human experience. Mm-hmm. And so that was the first motivation, was just the excitement around the whole thing. And the second one is about a year into my master's program, my father unfortunately suffered a stroke, and he's thankfully much better. He's doing much better now. But at the time I was like, man, there's got to be better ways to do this, and so I remember my mom calling me on the phone and saying, hey, Andrew, like, what's going on with your dad, my husband? Can you, look at his scans? Can you see what's going on? And so, they were fortunate in that they had a somewhat of a expert, minimally. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I had some industry knowledge and context that I could provide. But I was like, how many families, how many people out there in the world who don't have a healthcare background, who don't have people in medicine, who fully and wholly have to trust the doctor that they're sitting across from. And don't get me wrong, I love doctors, right? And I think they serve a great and important service to humanity, and in no way diminish their skill set and expertise. But I think for a lot of people, it helps having that just, I guess, supporting tool with them in the exam room, whether that be a family member who knows the space as well, or a technology they've learned to grow and trust throughout the years.
Yeah. So tell us a bit, Andrew, about how it works. I mean, what is it? It's an app, right? And
yes, sir.
So I go out, and I know it's not out just yet, right? You're still developing. You've got a launch coming up.
Yes, sir. We're doing a private launch May 16th. It'll be done May 16th, and we're doing a private launch sometime around June timeframe. I'm still working out the date because I want to do it right. But so how it works, it's basically an application for iPhone users and Android users. And what it does is you basically hold your phone up in front of your face, and it will perform some biometric scanning in much the same way that Face ID works, kind of unlocks your phone. We're using very similar technology and computer vision. And then we use AI and machine learning to sort of run that data through an algorithm.
Shut up. And it tells you what's going on in someone's brain?
Well, yeah, you have these biomarkers in your face and in your behaviors that kind of have direct neural correlates, or meaning that there's structures in your brain that basically correspond to kind of what happens on your face and your eyes. So we use those as inferences.
Get out of here. So what's going on with me right now, Andrew? Come on.
Oh,
what does befuddled do? What does befuddled do to my facial features?
That you gotta wait till June for that.
Yeah. No sneak preview tonight. That is just, I mean, where do you even come up with something like that?
Oh man.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of stats, there's a lot of math behind that to recognize what those correlations are, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, go ahead. Yeah, you're reading, you're studying, that's not what you studied. That's not your grad studies, right?
No, so my bachelor's degree was, I was a biology major, and I transitioned into neuroscience, and then I got my master's in applied neuroscience and cognition. I specialized in brain diagnosing and brain imaging. And so, my master's education really informed me in terms of my knowledge base for starting my startup. I didn't know that I wanted to do this route before my master's, but I really like applaud the people at UT Dallas. The education program there is phenomenal for the neuroscience.
Yeah, I suppose you probably should get a ton of data and information from them in order to
Yeah, no, I've had a lot of help, not only from the University of Texas at Dallas, but I've also been partnered with the University of North Texas as well to kind of help make this dream a reality. And just the support and rallying behind the product has been beyond my wildest dreams. I thought that, it was me who just had a knack for brain and brain health, but the more I talk to people, the more I get to realize, man, people really care about this stuff, and they want to see something make a difference.
Yeah.
And, I'm really grateful for all the help that I've gotten, whether from my team or just from my network. Because it really wouldn't be like I would not be, and my company would not be where we are today without the help of everyone else. So
yeah, so let's talk a bit about that. Tell us about your team. I mean, obviously, you've got the medical and the notional concept. You got all sorts of data scientists and so forth like that working on this too, right?
We have a few, yeah. I would say a super massive. We're all bootstrapped right now, and so I'm just trying to make the most of the talent that we have retained, and kind of the ones that are currently working on the product are the people who truly believe in it. And I'm really grateful that I found really talented individuals to contribute. And it's So as far as the team itself, right now we have myself as a founder and CEO, and I provide the clinical expertise where necessary. And then our development is handled by the University of North Texas. And then, I've got some marketing people, and I've got some sales. And so it's relatively small, but we're making it work.
Yeah, but what a team effort there, because you got people that know nothing about neuroscience and neurotechnology, and yet you're like, okay, AI, right? Good. That's what I need, right? I mean, there's your vision right there. It's as the leader and as a founder, as an entrepreneur, bringing people together who have the skills that you don't necessarily have, but you need.
No, that's exactly right. Like I honestly, when I first started our startup, we officially formulated January 1, 2021. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about anything. Like, I was like, I've got all this knowledge about brain health, but then like, how do I make something real in the real world? Like, I don't know how to do business. I don't know how to do marketing or sales or, branding or development or coding or UX design, or anything, right? So part of that journey was learning enough to be dangerous, but also recognizing that, my team is the one that's really making the impact. And, I need to empower them to make the decisions that will allow them to do their job in the best way possible. I got some really great advice early on in my journey that has kept me going from then till now. And that was basically empower your team to make decisions that are above the waterline, in such that, you as the CEO or you as the main founder you can only make decisions that are going to poke holes in your ship that will sink your ship. No one else on your team should be able to sink your own ship. And so as long as their decisions are above the waterline, meaning that, whatever holes they poke in the deck of the boat, it's not going to sink, then they should be able to make those decisions. And that's how you sail forward and, reach your destination. And that stuck with me ever since I started. And, it's really paid off.
Great. I love good maritime analogies, Andrew. Good call. But I hear this a lot from entrepreneurs when I interview them, when I work with them as clients too, is that there's knowing what you don't know how to do and bringing on the right people. But then there's this marriage also with this spirit of, I don't really know how this is supposed to be done. I mean, who knows about building a company unless you've built a company before? You can read, you can study it. Frankly, you can study that in grad school if that's what you're, if you're getting an MBA or whatnot. But it's amazing, and this I hear over and over again from sharp guys like you that say, I didn't know how it was necessarily supposed to be done. What's beautiful about that is that nobody will come along and tell you you're doing it wrong and you can't do it that way, because I didn't know. So, and look, next thing you know, you've got success, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's building your team and getting the right people on board, or whether it's, as you say, giving them the right sort of responsibility. If there's not a dynamic, if there's not a structure that's explained, you just go, I don't know. Here's what I think sounds right, and here's what feels right to me, right?
Well, I think you're exactly right. And I also think it's understanding that, in your humility, you're saying, hey, look, I don't have the answer for this question, but I'm going to go and find it out for you, right? And so a lot of times I would tell my team, I'm like, hey, look, I don't understand this, or what's the next step here, but, give me a couple hours, give me a couple days, give me a week, whatever the time frame I needed to kind of accomplish that knowledge gap. And I'd get after it. Right. And so, I don't want to let people, or to give them the wrong impression. Like there's a time and place to lean on your team. And there's also a time and place to, dive in deep, put the work in, read the books, get the knowledge, reach out to your mentors, advisors, investors, whoever that network might be, mentors from afar, right? And learn and put the work in. I think I'm, again, like to stress, I think you are, I came up with this a couple weeks ago, but I think the best founders are not problem solvers, but solution seekers. And I think what I mean by that is they're not just looking for problems to solve, or they're not just solving any old problem, but they're looking for the ones that are really going to be a valuable and impactful solution. And it's just a different framing, and I think a different way of how they go about their day. And so.
Yeah. Well, it's the best new mousetrap and that sort of thing. We talked quite a bit about advice already, and so I'm going to ask you for your advice. We got a lot of folks that'll tune in. A lot of folks maybe watch us after the fact. People live in DC who are entrepreneurs who are interested in pitching themselves. You got ready for it. You did it. You got up in front of people. You didn't even have your pajamas on. You actually did it in real life. So tell us, what's your advice to folks who are preparing for this? Maybe the 5 folks who are getting up in front of the crowd in DC tonight can take some last minute advice, but also other entrepreneurs who want to cram it all into 99 seconds.
Well, that's exactly wrong. You can't cram it all in 99 seconds. I think that the competition is more about the pitch and less about the product, right? You've got to connect with your listener and your audience and understand that 99 seconds is your hook. And so you need to understand that you want them to ask questions and make you, the founder, chased, not chase them. And so, I think one of the best things is do that is by telling a story, or, I wouldn't even go into the bare bones of the product. I'd say, look, like this is what we do. This is who we help, and this is how we've helped. And that last part, the how, I think is what really is going to bind to people's emotions, bind to their attention, and get them interested in learning more about what you do.
It almost sounds like there's
on your pitch.
Go say that again.
I said, don't focus on your product, focus on the pitch.
Yes. I think there's a great echo there of what you said earlier about being a solution seeker. I think there's an analogy that, you're not solving a problem by saying, hey, here's my cool, awesome thing. You're seeking solutions in the sense that you're trying to connect with the people who are out there listening to your pitch.
Yeah. And it's a conversation, really. Like that 99 seconds is like your opening few sentences, right? And then those 4 to 5 minutes afterwards are the questions that kind of answer that conversation. You got A and B, right? And so your audience is your B part of that conversation. You got to allow them to speak. And if you give everything up front or try to jam it all in one and you're just talking at them, it's no longer a conversation. It's just like word vomit.
Like a bunch of words. Yeah. It's just a bunch of words.
And no one likes that, right? So
I can vouch for that. I get that all the time.
I think you're great. I think you're great,
Andrew. This is great. We're gonna slide in toward the wrap up here. It's been great having you. It's been great interviewing with you. I always get so much out of these interviews. Before we break out here, though, I'm gonna offer up the exit question. It's always the exact same exit question for every entrepreneur that I ever interview, and so here it is for you. Street tacos only, not soft burritos or soft tacos. Which do you choose? Corn or flour?
Corn.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna.
You got to go authentic.
What up? So thanks, Andrew. Andrew Denton out of Dallas, Texas. Glia Health is the name of the startup. I'm going to say that I didn't notice this when he and I met the other day when we were getting prepped for this. But could you go like this? This is what a medically minded guy with meat hooks like that has to do. He has to become an entrepreneur, because there's no way you could be a doctor with hands that huge, I don't think.
But you can be a guitar player. That's where they come in handy, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, I never get those bar chords myself, so good.
They're tricky for sure.
Andrew, congratulations. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to Glia Health. Gonna kick it on back to Nick now.
Thank you so much, guys.
And we want to thank you both, Z, Nicholas Zeisler, but we call him Z. Thank you so much. You did this great job. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Not only your pitch in Dallas, and you just hit it on the dot with your advice, which is, tell the story, really focus on that pitch versus the, intricacy of the product. Thank you for your support. We saw that you were posting about us afterwards and the experience. So we decided to reach out to you and have you on the show. So this has just been amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm glad I was helpful to y'all. I love what y'all do. I think more people and more companies should do what y'all are doing. It's good stuff.
Well,
Thanks,
we think so. We think so too.
Andrew, that was a really awesome post. I loved just you taking us into your whole experience and also advocating for other founders to get involved and to push themselves. It's just an awesome testimonial. I urge everybody else, if you want to read what Andrew posted, it's on our social media page on our website, founderslive.com/social media, or check LinkedIn.
All right. Well, we're going to pull you off, both of you. So feel free to stick around, but thank you both. So great to see them. That was awesome. Look at that transition. Love that. Love that. You know what? Luis, we have a special message that we're going to play, and we want to thank our new Founders Live partner, Radial Development. They've recently come on, partnered with us as a North America partner, bringing all of you awesome development services and opportunities to help you improve your product. So we're going to hear from one of our partners. We're going to share a message from them.
At Radial Development Group, you will find a collection of experts in a wide range of software engineering disciplines and processes ready to work with you to execute your company's vision. Radial brings together specialists from diverse backgrounds with a broad range of experience. Whether it's development of your mobile app or website, or the embedded software on hardware you are shipping to your users, we're ready to help your team deliver. Coming up with the next big idea is difficult, and we are proud to be able to help. We will support each of the teams pitching with strategic and road mapping services at no cost. Tonight's winner will be entitled to up to 10 hours of Radial's expert advice at no cost, and to a discounted rate for any future work. Radial is ready to engage, to support, and to deliver for you. Connect with us now for a free consultation.
Radial, and we thank them so much. And hey, look at that, Luis.
I love it. A nice custom commercial for Founders Live, and this is the beginning of a new era of partnerships for us as we strive to bring founders the resources they need. Whether it's part of a presenter package for the winners, or whether it's an offering for memberships, or just something that we make available to our general community, we're looking for ways to get the right things in front of our people that can help them in their business pursuits, and sometimes also in their personal training. So good to have Radial on board. It's fun to see an actual commercial running for someone, for us. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. So you'll see here, everyone, there is a dedicated web page or a URL that has been dropped in the chat. So you'll see right there, that's the URL, that's the website. We will continue to share this. You'll be able to access it further, but if you're interested, you're watching right here, jump on to that website, the page right there, and you're going to see this. And there's an intake form, and tell us about yourself. Let them know about your company, and hey, how can they help? And so we love and appreciate the fact that Radial has jumped on. They're one of our great partners, and we're so excited. So here's their main website, and you can check that out at radialdevgroup.com. I'm just pumped that we have this partnership, and there's going to be more partners coming on that are beneficial to you all out there to help you grow your company. When we bring on partners, it's not just an advertising. We don't have advertising in here. What we have is a partner program, a partner network that we're building out, that we're bringing in great products and services for you all to grow. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, and a little bit of sneak peek. Don't we have something coming up with Code Launch, right?
We do have something coming up with Code Launch that is code launch. So we're going to shift from, so I'll actually bring them up right here. Why
Oh,
not?
cool.
Code
awesome.
Launch is really excited to have their next code launch event. It's Code Launch Ohio. It's going to happen in Columbus, Ohio, on August 25th. They are now taking, I believe it's now or maybe in a few days, they will open up for applications. If you and your startup want to participate at this code launch event, which is essentially a competition, and the winners receive development services for their product. But it's a great exposure aspect for you all to get, meet new people, get exposure, compete in an event, and then win some awesome prizes. So we want to give a shout out to Code Launch as well. So thank you.
Nice.
All right.
Well, hey, since we're reviewing websites and looking at stuff, I think it's time that we move on to the next phase of our show that we're also excited for. It's our little preview segment.
How awesome is this? You know what? Look at that. You know what? We have aware strategies that we're going to review. Well, actually, before we hit that, what we're doing here, everyone, is we are now going to do a preview of all the pitching companies that are coming next hour. All right. And so our first review is Aware Strategies. Aware Strategies LLC is a company that provides technical, program, or consulting solutions to address the challenges facing our society today. And when you look at this, Luis, when you check this out, Aware Strategies, we now we are checking out their website, and we're just going to give our preview, our thoughts, what do we think about the solution? What do we think about this company? And then at the end, we're going to do a little prediction of who, everyone's favorite of just right now, to see who you think is going to win the event. And then it's a little prediction for what happens at the event next hour. Luis, your initial thoughts on Aware Strategies.
Yeah, let's scroll through this site. So the way we've set it up, guys, is Nick has done a little homework. He's got the websites in tabs here, and he's kind of looked in advance. I'm looking at this with fresh eyes, so I'm going on first impressions, like you all will be for when you hear them pitch. So this is like as if we knew, we clicking on links in advance of the show. We're kind of getting a feel of who's going to be competing. So Nick, I'm looking through the website here. Nice review of the app features on screen here. Higher up, there was a kind of a little bit of a banner that is not exactly the greatest design. Can you go up to the very top there? Okay, so public safety mobile app. All right, let's look for some super clear instructions as to like what these guys do. I'm not sure if public safety is for like a B2B play or in terms of like, first responders, or if this is for consumer facing things. Download an app, maybe that is more consumer facing. I'd like to see right off the top a super clear way for all of us to understand what we're in for here and who the audience is. So let's hope that when they present that's what they start out with.
Yeah. I'll jump in here and just, I'm going to restate again, just, to bring it back to the surface here. Aware Strategies is a company that provides technical, programming, or consulting solutions to address the challenges facing our society today. Just not giving us a ton of specifics here, but it's exciting to see that they're providing these solutions around using. It says public safety mobile app. Hey, this is why we listen to the pitches, right? We're doing a preview, and then we're going to be able to hear from those founders exactly what problems they're solving, what is the solutions, that sort of thing. So interesting, voice recognition, video calls. Really interesting. Obviously, they're merging mobile technology with safety and really bringing that to the public market. So bringing awareness and provide safety methodologies to civilians. This is interesting stuff, everyone. Clearly, we don't have enough information that's why we listen to the pitches, and we're ready to do that next hour. But
Yeah. So an
yeah,
initial question for me is, and as we think of like what questions we want to ask the presenters if we were live in the room, how are they making money on this? Are they, what's a revenue model is often is a very common question. Definitely applies here.
yeah, good thought. All right. The great thing is we skip right through these, everyone. So the next company that we're gonna check out is Hilp. And Hilp is making health a shared experience by crowdsourcing what works. So we're now checking this out, everyone, and we're pulling it up. Here we go. Hilp. All right. Getting health answers from real people. So you know what's so cool about this, Luis, is we go from one to another, and you kind of get a new flavor real quickly, right? So now we
Yeah.
have, big picture with, people smiling, and now we're talking about health, humans' health, right? We're not doctors or experts. We're just people like you looking for meaningful answers. I can sense a community here. I can sense people being able to, share what's going on and actually help others. What's jumping out at you, Luis?
Yeah, they mentioned community pretty high up. Photos of people. This is more like human-centric kind of experience. And with this headline here, it looks like it's going to be something that's like complementary to a doctor's experience, or maybe even to replace it. People doing their own research, sometimes not the best thing in the medical field. Not but it always helps to supplement with conversations and personal experiences. So maybe that's what they're going for here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hey, make friends with similar conditions.
Yeah.
I've heard that pitch before. Is like connecting people that might be going through, struggling with similar experiences. So that's really great. One thing I will point out, then we'll bounce to the next one is, naming companies can be challenging, and when you choose a unique name that has some sort of spelling that some people are like, is it help? Is it help? Is it, sometimes that's difficult, right? So I think it's an interesting name. I also think sometimes naming companies can be troublesome if you remove vowels, or have a spelling that is like, when people are asking, is it this? Is it that? Is it that? That can be troublesome. That's just a sign to me that I wanted to share with everyone out there.
Yeah. Yeah. At least it makes for good SEO. There's not a whole lot of help out there, however you pronounce it.
For sure. All right, everyone. Moving on. So we have our next startup that we're going to hear from is Rainbow. Rainbow is a social media refined. Real users, real data, and real interaction. And here we are, everyone. We have got Rainbow. Get social again with Rainbow, another community kind of social experience here, a social media platform that cuts out the BS of traditional platforms while helping you go viral. Hey, Luis, what does that mean to you, man?
It's a little vague. So there's a lot of people want to be the next big social app. So we're going to have to get right up front with what the key value proposition is here. How are they different? I'm not sure just here, but that's my immediate question. So I'm intrigued to find out more.
Yeah, I am too. And we've actually, I don't know, something might be in the air, because there seems to be like, as the world's kind of come out of the pandemic, and TikTok is now seems like the king, and now a lot of people are creating these new ideas that want to hit that social, and it just seems like a new social wave is happening. They
Yeah,
want to
for sure.
recreate, and things like, I don't know if you've seen this, but a trend where it's like, oh no, this is kind of funny, but it's like, no, we're not building out a social thing where you can post publicly to everyone, that everyone can get the message at the same time publicly. We're actually creating a one-to-one channel communication. Like, it just feels like things are going fully 180 back to 15 years ago. I don't know. What are your thoughts on some of these social things?
Well, I think what is interesting is we are seeing the successful apps be ones that empower creators, the more you can give them tools to make cool stuff for people, the more successful they are. That's why TikTok is so expressive and creative, and it's a very short attention span thing. Not that we have short attention spans, but you can get the message very quickly. So my next question is, like, what tools is Rainbow providing? How are they empowering creators? It looks like they've got some good stats here on partners and adoption. So I'm intrigued to see what the tool is. I still don't know yet what the user interface is for creating. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
Well,
I
good.
didn't say that.
All right. So we are moving on. So our fourth is Shaker. Shaker is bartending on demand, service work and event staffing, cocktails, kicks, or cocktail kits, and more. All right, so we're gonna jump in, check this out. So first, Luis, and you don't even know this, but everyone, so Shaker's website is one of those kind of like coming soon landing pages. It really just all it shows is the logo and pretty much nothing else in terms of you can like put in your email address.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that, did a little digging here, and we just jumped to their Instagram page, and we can kind of check some things out. But Shaker is, really it's an on-demand, service and bartending, and it just so happens that not only are they pitching tonight, but they've provided the drinks and services for the event there in Washington, D.C. that we're going to go jump into next, just in 10, 12 minutes there. But, on demand, I don't want to use the Uber for, bartending, but probably in that direction. Luis, what's your initial thoughts on that concept?
Yeah. Bartender services actually deliver a lot more than most people are aware of in terms of licensing, insurance. Sometimes getting the booze. There are local restrictions depending on what city and state you're in. I don't know if Shaker's local just to DC or if they're rolling out nationwide, but there's a lot of things involved here that save a lot of people a lot of time, whether you're an event coordinator for a business or whether you're doing it for your own personal parties. So this industry or this service is ripe for something fresh.
It totally is, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, I wish the website was built out a little more. Just even, you can do a landing page with some more photos. I mean, Look, there's photos here. This you could easily get a landing page going. So would love to see that. But
at least they do have social. If you are in landing page mode, social is something you can be a bit more nimble with, or at least empower someone to like get stuff out there and rally some community support. So both sides.
Awesome. All right. So our last presenter, everyone, our last company that we are covering tonight is Orb Reality, interactive video over commercial grade Wi-Fi. And for everyone here, this is going to be our strange one for everyone. But Orb Reality, you'll notice the website here is we're having a little trouble here pulling it up, but it's one of those where you have to sign in.
It's definitely in early mode. Asking for a password just to get through. I think it's just probably fully pre-release.
Sounds like the pitch is interesting, and there's going to be some audio, a visual aspect to it. We're excited and looking forward to that. But hey, let's take this route real quick, Luis. Okay. Clearly, Orb Reality. So OR, VR, like there's something there. What would you love to see in the VR direction and industry? Let's just kind of go with like I wish and I hope and I'm excited about XYZ in the VR industry.
Well, just going with what I heard from your description and a little snippet of what I saw on the videos as we were setting up for the event. This is they've got a very interesting way of presenting live action in with a special camera technique, and I think as you know, more and more people adopt VR headsets and yet want to get use the capabilities of those headsets to experience things that are traditionally broadcast in a 2D format. Providers who can give you some special option between camera angles and 3D depth, maybe even use your control over what you're looking at or where you can watch from. Highly interesting field, and you know, open for whoever wants to claim it. There aren't any you know, it's a brand new world. Metaverse is all over the place. A spectrum of experiences. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he presents here.
Hey, this is exciting, everyone. So we dropped in the chat, and you can scan that QR code right there. Luis, I would like you to make sure that you do that. I'm actually going to do it right now as well. And you know what we're going to do, everyone? Let's see if this works, because we've never done this before. But
I'll do it too, right from the little code.
Hey, please, if you're watching right now and you see in the chat, there is a link, prevote.founderslive.com, or scan that code. We want you to predict who you think is going to actually end up the winner of this pitch competition solely based on what we just walked through. And, you know, of course, there's not a lot, right? But
Hey,
who do you
Nick,
like? Who do you want to predict? And if you want to walk through that real quick, and actually, when you see on this voting, it's startup 1, startup 2, startup 3. It's the order that we just went through. So I'm going to review them real quick because I apologize. There's not the names on there. So number 1 was Aware Strategies. Number 2 was Hilp. Number 3 was Rainbow. Number 4 was
social
Shaker.
media one, bartending.
Yep, and the last one was that Orb Reality. So which one you feel that is going to be the winner? Feel free to walk through that. We apologize that those weren't there on the the names of the startups. We apologize, but
So
feel free
Nick, when people vote for the pitch winner in a live pitch competition, as we'll be seeing here in a few minutes, what are the criteria that they should be using? Is it for the best business idea? Is it for the best pitch? Is there, you know, whatever you feel like? How would you explain how people should vote?
Luis, can you? I would explain that you're looking for what you think is the best pitch, not the best pitch or not the best business model. This is like what landed for you. What did you like? Did you connect with it? And did they deliver in the right way? I'm trying to do 3 things at once, so
I know, me too.
That's what you're looking for here. And
we're both filling out the form, just like everybody else is scrambling to do this now as we're collecting votes. You know what? We also have on this form a little checkbox for information on our new memberships. We're offering front row and professional, different experiences. Front row is basically like a VIP experience to Founders Live, exclusive content, special treatment at live events, special treatment during center stage. And then professional builds upon that by giving founders and anybody else who's involved with the business tools they need for success for themselves in business and also for their own business. We've got access to academy sessions. We've got, again, more kinds of content, more offers from our partners, $5,000 in AWS credits alone just for being a professional member. Check out those options on our website just to complete the shill here. Are we ready to realize the votes here? I actually didn't press submit yet.
Go ahead.
There we go. And let's see who the crowd thinks is going to come through here. Who knows, just based on our previews, but it's kind of fun to figure out what the crowd thinks already.
Let's see.
Pull up a different tab. Okay.
We have a tie. Yeah, I'm not showing it yet, but we have a tie. let's see. All I'm going to say right now, we won't show the results, but there is right now a tie between, there was 3 votes, everyone. And, so, hey, there's more than 3 people watching this video. You can see, I'm encouraging you all, look at that QR code. There's a link right there in your chat. Yeah. Just click the link and fill it out, everyone. This is your opportunity to engage with us. We're trying to bring you into this experience. So feel free to make that vote. If not, hey, we have a tie right now. It's actually spread out over a number of different.
You could be the deciding factor, or you could just increase the tie if we only get a few more.
Good. But
that's cool, though. There's a lot of appeal here. That's what makes Founders Live fun is different companies appeal to different people. And that's good to see that there's messages already resonating across the board.
Yeah. So as we start to move in, there should be a few more minutes here. I'm just gonna add to the stream here.
Oh yeah, let's peek in on what's going on.
But you know what, everyone? Look at this. This is awesome. It's our favorite time that we're gonna drop right into the event. We now have the cameras that are going to get lit up here soon. Look at that. We've got this camera there sitting on the stage. And
look, they're showing us on screen.
Well, there you go. So hopefully they get their screen figured out. Maybe they're streaming this into the room. I don't know. But
it looks like they are. It looks like they're showing the green room view.
Yeah. What? Hey, they probably can't hear it
in Founders Live.
Hear us, Luis, but what would you say? What would you want them to hear in that room if they could hear you right now? Luis, what would you say to them if they could hear you right now? That was a question to you, man.
I would say, you know what? You already know your business. Speak from your heart. Tell the story that you know and speak to the crowd. Your slides should be secondary at this point. You're going to run through them, make a connection, tell a story, and be entertaining, be fun. Just like the core values, if you kind of keep all that stuff, if that's how you live as a founder, you're ready to get on stage and talk to these people and win some votes and win a really good winners package.
I love it. Yeah, I would just say that, if you're there attending the event, which, by the way, Luis, we got our Founders Live Seattle tomorrow. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow at the Collective in downtown Seattle. We're so excited about that. But hey, if you're attending, you're hanging out, you're enjoying the energy, you're having fun, you're doing the thing. If you're pitching, you're ready to lay down your pitch, to speak what you believe in your mission and vision. And you might be a little nervous, maybe not, but we wish you luck and, stay within those 99 seconds. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Practice gets you confident. That's the main thing, and gets that timing down, 99 seconds. And then you get some time during the Q&A afterwards. So, the important message stuff, the sell during there, and then you can get details out when people ask questions.
Awesome. Hey, let's go live and see what's going on there. All right. I think they're starting to get ready.
We'll start here in 2 minutes. So if you kindly grab your seats, your Moscow Mule, your Mai Tai.
2 minutes.
Whatever shots you have hiding under your pants. Please. Have your seats.
I love that Shaker's doing the bartending. That makes for a really good event.
Yeah. All right.
Looks like we're teeing up the presentations.
Well, yep. All right.
So soon, everybody, you'll be hearing from Monique, the city leader in Washington, D.C. And Nick, do you know if they're going to be doing a speaker ahead of time? Is there going to be any kind of discussion, or are we going to get right into the competition?
Yeah, there's going to be a guest interview speaker. We're excited about that. And, we're going to hear all about that. Don't know much about the background, but it's going to be a great interview and probably 15, 20 minutes. So excited about that.
Cool. I think I can pull up a little information here on who that presenter is. I remember seeing something about that in the event description. That is Rosie Khalif, serial entrepreneur, inventor, and business coach, featured in Forbes, New York Times, and named top 30 under 30 by Washington Business Journal. She also appeared in and won Shark Tank. So this is a veteran pitch presenter. She's going to have a lot of wisdom to share here for anybody who's aspiring to get on Founders Live stage. It'd be fun to hear what she's got to say about those sharks.
Yeah, so much so, man. Man, you know, it's funny when we watch these. I get jealous. You know,
I know.
I want to be there. You know, I want to be there. But it's so cool.
I do too. I hope we can make it to a bunch of these in person, even though we might be in the room next door. At least when we're done with the pregame, we can get out and enjoy the actual pitches and mix it up with the crowd.
Yeah.
Nick, where is our next? So what's ahead for us with Center Stage?
Karaoke.
I know just as we're getting prepared to zoom into Washington, when are we coming next on our broadcast, and what's ahead?
Our next Founders Live Center Stage event is going to be May 11th, coming from Lagos, Nigeria. We're excited to take this to the African continent.
Yes.
And if you're in the United States, it's going to be a little more in the morning, not too early, but it's exciting that Lagos, Nigeria, they're going to have their Founders Live event, and that's our next Center Stage. It's going to be so great.
Yeah, and then that's 2 weeks from today. And then from that point on, we're going to be coming to you live every single Wednesday for a new Center Stage from a different city around the world. We'll be back in Africa in Harare, Zimbabwe soon enough. I believe that's on the 25th of May. It's 2 weeks after Lagos, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we're just taking the one in between is in Houston on the 18th, and then we just keep going, and it doesn't stop.
It's awesome, everyone. This show happens every week. New guests, new cities, new pitches from awesome founders from around the world, and we're bringing it right to you. And we want to include you all. So you might see some cool opportunities to engage with others around the world. But it looks like we're going live, so let's quiet down. We're going to pull ourselves off, and we'll get started there. And see you all later.
Founders Live is a social platform for entrepreneurs all around the world. It's a community to inspire, educate, and entertain. We hold events in a growing number of cities to highlight emerging talent. And online, we have videos, posts, articles. As entrepreneurs, we're incredibly lonely sometimes, so I wanted to connect their problems.
This is a good atmosphere to see the different problems that a lot of different industries and startups are handling.
The ultimate vision for Founders Live is a global entrepreneurial community where startups and founders connect with anyone else in the world, and instantly they've reached millions of people, possibly even raised money.
I love new ideas. I love hearing about businesses getting off the ground. Nick always packs the house.
Founders Live was created on a foundation of 4 core values. First, respectful authenticity. You should feel comfortable and just be who you are. Core value number 2, gather around the campfire. We're figuratively sitting around a campfire telling stories. So we encourage you to describe the future that you imagine.
You get everybody from all different age groups, all different industries, and talk about growing companies. It's what it's all about.
Core value number 3, open the door. My success has come from others opening a door for me. We encourage doing great things for people without expecting a return. And the final core value, no name tags. You'll notice that you're not wearing a name tag. That is just an analogy of removing the awkwardness. So if you want to know their name, simply walk up and shake their hand. People pitch their business idea with only 99 seconds. We have 4 minutes of Q&A. You're going to cast your vote. infusing the 4 core values, short, exciting pitches, and then having a crowd around the world voting. The best startup creates such a unique experience. This will not be your last Founders Live event. We hope to see you at the next Founders Live.
Thank you. Thanks, Aaron. Oh my goodness, look at this crowd. Woo! So let me introduce myself. My name is Monique Frey. I am the Washington, D.C. City Leader for Founders Live. Founders Live is a platform for entrepreneurs, and our vision is entrepreneurship equality. Remember that phrase. So I want to just start off also by saying, we are live streaming right now, so thanks to Nick Hughes, our CEO and founder of Founders Live. That's what you saw going on in the background while we were busy networking. I've got some friends helping out, some people supporting tonight, investors, sponsors, and of course our presenters. This is our first in-person event since 2019, so we are relaunching Washington, D.C. So thank you for coming out tonight. Without any further ado, let me just give you a bit of the agenda quickly. So I am going to have our guest speaker speak for 20 minutes. Then we've got the slide presentation of Founders Live. And then the presenters, there are 5 startups here tonight who will present their ideas. It's a pitching competition. And the way we're going to vote is that you take out your phones, there'll be a QR code to scan, and that's how you're going to vote. And to those of you watching as well, virtually. We are at Mindspace, DC. Mindspace, as you can see, is a high-end flex office space, co-working space. What do you think of the place, guys? I mean, I'm absolutely loving this. The colors, it's very innovative, very creative. It's a good space, I think, for you as a creator to be in this space and to do what you need to do. And we'll have Jade Gainey, our community manager, who's going to be telling us more about Mindspace later on. But let me get straight into introducing a dear friend. And I must admit, I am absolutely grateful that she is in Washington, D.C. at this time to actually be present and join us at Founders Live. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm going to read her bio from my phone. Rosie Caleb, welcome. Let me read who she is. So Rosie Caleb, a serial entrepreneur, inventor, and a business coach. She founded the company Surprise Ride, whose mission is to give kids a break from technology through hands-on activity kits. Rosie has appeared and won on the ABC's hit show Shark Tank. You've seen Shark Tank? And landed an investment from celebrity investor Kevin O'Leary. Her company was acquired by Fat Brain Toys. Currently, Rosie is the Chief Marketing Officer at Senseware. It's an Internet of Things startup. Prior to joining Senseware, she was at the venture capital firm New Enterprise Associates as an entrepreneur in residence to launch a tech wellness company. Rosie's childhood and upbringing have shaped her passionate approach to life and business. Her family escaped war in Lebanon and ended up in Canada as war refugees. Her mom won the green card lottery, and that's how they ended up in the United States. So Rosie has been featured in Forbes, the New York Times, and named top 30 under 30 by Washington Business Journal. Let me hand over to Rosie Caleb. Thank you. Give her a round of applause.
Hi, everyone. I think we need to give you a round of applause for that awesome introduction and welcome, the welcome that you gave us, such a warm welcome. So why don't we take a second and give you Hi, everyone. I'm Rosie. Super excited to be here. How's the sound? Loud? Good? Okay, cool. So I am Rosie. I am the founder of Surprise Ride. I started the company when I was still in college. More on that in a second. But before I get into kind of my journey, I want to be as helpful as possible, sharing my failures, my wins, and the journey of being a founder, which I think mainstream media has made it very glamorous, but if you are a founder, you know that it's far less than glamorous at various times. So just a quick round, hands up, if you are an entrepreneur or would like to be an entrepreneur. I'd just like to get a sense of the room. Awesome. Okay, very helpful. And how many of you already have a company right now or are in the process of actually starting a company? Okay, super. Awesome. So I know I have 20 minutes with you, which isn't too long, so I'm hoping I'll share my story, some of the lessons learned along the way, and then I would love to hear from you and hear your stories and any questions and if I can be of help. So I started the company when I was still in college. I actually founded Surprise Ride with my sister, and we created over 100 products by the time we sold the company, and they were all about getting kids off technology. So we created hands-on projects. We published over 15 books by the time we had sold the company, and they were all centered around a different theme. So we would take the kids on a ride, and that's where the name comes from. And when we started the company, Uber wasn't even around. So after we had raised some rounds of funding and Uber had kind of taken off, people would ask us, why'd you name it Surprise Ride? Am I going to go on a surprise ride? And we're like, no. Uber wasn't around at the time. So this is the name. The name is, we take kids on a ride through their imagination. And that's how we named it. But we founded it really from memories of our own childhood. So my dad's an artist. And growing up, I would do a lot of creative projects with him and my sister. And that's sort of how we got the idea of creating a product that would get kids to really disconnect from technology and from the iPad and do something in the real world and learn. And so that's kind of the impetus of starting the company. So when we kind of got the idea for it, we created our first product and we launched a really, really ugly website. And we learned to code. We kind of created it ourselves. We met up with a friend of ours at a local Panera and asked him if he would help us just create the website, as I'm sure many of you have done now. And at the time, this is about 7 years ago or 8 years ago, we didn't have the same tools that we have now. So Squarespace is making it very accessible, and Shopify and whatnot is making it really accessible for all of us to start websites really easily. But at the time, it was a little bit different. And so we created this really, really ugly website, and we actually got our first customer when we were still testing the site. And me and Donna were like, I called Donna right away, my co-founder, and I told her, what did you do? There's this woman in here named Nicole was her name, and she stayed our customer for many years. Who is this person? And she said, I don't know her. And it was just a moment where we looked at ourselves and thought, oh my God, we have something here, maybe. And so we created our first product, and then we ended up getting accepted into an accelerator program. So just a quick, pitch for accelerators. They're awesome. If you find the right one for your company, they can really accelerate your growth, hence the name. But it just made us do so much in such a short amount of time. So it was a 3-month period. We were up in the Boston area, and we did so much. We met people, we did focus groups, we perfected our product, we did R&D, we fixed our website, legal, accounting, all that. And so just a lesson, for us is that if you do have the ability to join some kind of program that will make you kind of do more, it really does help. And so we did that, and we ended up getting the producer's email of one of the Shark Tank producers, which was so cool. So we're in our office. It's this tiny, tiny office in this accelerator, and we get forwarded an email chain, and it was saying, Shark Tank is looking for more, tech type of companies, not just the mom and pop, not the grocery store or the CPG type brands. And so at the very end of the chain was Max's email, and Max is one of the producers of Shark Tank. So Donna and I took that email and we emailed him right away, and we told him, here's our story. We are immigrants from Lebanon. We came here on a boat. We landed in Canada, and we are war refugees. And we were in Canada, and then my mom literally won the green card lottery. And that's how we ended up in the US. We're a family of 4. I'm actually the youngest one. And so this is our story. This is the company we started. We love Shark Tank because of the stories. And then he wrote us back within a few minutes, and he said, can you call me? So we're freaking out because here we are, we spent 3 hours writing this email to him. We certainly didn't prep for an actual phone call. So we call him, and long story short, months and months go by, and we finally get all the way to Hollywood. So we get to Hollywood, our company's still a baby. We had 18K in sales, maybe 150 customers at that, just very tiny. And then we pitch on Shark Tank, and we leave the tank without a deal. So we get an offer from Robert, we don't take it, and we leave without making any offers. We don't get any capital. So we were freaking out at the time, because we knew that if you didn't get a deal, you were less likely to actually air on TV. So we were kind of sad, but we just kept going. So we kept growing. Our offices were in DC, and then Shark Tank calls us back a year later and says, we want to come back and film you. So, okay, sure. So they come and film us, and we literally get a phone call, and you can watch this. We get a phone call from Kevin O'Leary, and it was a surprise phone call. He actually calls us, we're filming, and so we turn to the producer and we say, oh, someone's calling, we shouldn't answer, right? And he said, no, you can answer. We're like, okay, we'll answer. So then Donna answers, and it's all real. We were not acting. Everyone always says to us, you guys are such good actors. We really weren't acting. And then Kevin says, hi, it's Kevin O'Leary. I'm in the neighborhood. I'd like to stop by. So he comes and he makes us a deal. And it was the first time in Shark Tank history that he had come back after he had said no to a company and made them an offer. So it was super cool and just such a pinchy moment. It was such a pinchy moment for us. And we made a deal with him. We kept growing our business. And we got to a point where we had millions in sales. So just to kind of give you guys some sense, so we had 18K when we went on Shark Tank. That year, we ended the year over $1 million in sales. So it was just ridiculous growth because Shark Tank does that, right? The Shark Tank effect is really powerful. It's kind of like the Oprah effect. There's 8 million people that watch that show. And so our growth kept growing, in that way. And so we had to grow our team. We had to raise more funding. And it was just such a ride. But just so many lessons along the way. I'd like to share a few of them. We ended up, so that happened. And then we ended up selling our company years later, to a company called Fat Brain Toys, big toy company. And Surprise Ride is still doing its thing. You can still buy our products. You could still see it. It's very cool. I just love that we were able to find a partner that could continue the legacy of what we had created. That was really important to us. And we obviously went on to do so many different things after that. But one of the lessons I learned from Shark Tank and from starting my first company was how important it is to take risks. I think so many of us believe that, there's so many people out there. What are the chances someone's going to read my email? Or what are the chances I'm going to get picked? And you won't win the lottery if you're not playing the game, right? And so that was big for us. And I think even our mom, I have to give her a shout out. She's not here, but she was someone who, she is someone who just always believed that it was possible. And even when, everyone told her, oh, that's a scam, there's no such thing as the green card lottery. It's not going to work out. She had 4 kids and she had to find a way to make it happen. And she applied and we had, a typewriter and my sister Donna helped her and we ended up winning and millions of people literally apply to that a year, right? And so I think just as a founder, it's so important for you to be willing to take risks. And I think it's so important to know that the risks get harder to take as you get deeper into your company. So if you're in year 1, do everything. Go balls to the walls. Take all the risks. Because when you're an established founder and you're in year 5 of running your company, it's going to be very difficult for you to take the same types of risks, right? You have so much more on the line. You have payroll and you have a reputation and so many other things that are factoring into your risk-taking ability. And so when you're starting out, I would just suggest as much as possible, and I wish I did this even more, go for it. Try to meet with all the people that you think will be helpful and ping them. Get really good at writing that email. Get really good at writing that email that makes someone want to actually reply to you. Be compelling. Don't just say, I want to pick your brain. What are you, so many of us are, young folk and or maybe first time founders, and we kind of think, oh, but this person's founded, 6, 7 companies. What do I have to add to what they're already doing? I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. I think we all have something to add. And so it's really important in that first email to be specific and say, here are the ways that these are the things I've learned. I'd love to share them with you. Here's what I'm seeing. Here are the trends I'm seeing that I think you would find interesting. I think that's so much more powerful than just saying to someone, I'd love to pick your brain, or I'd like to invite you for coffee. And so I got really good at writing that intro kind of email, and I really attribute that to so much of the successful things that have happened along the way. Even selling our company, that was an email, right? That was an email that I sent to someone named John. And I was like, hi, John, you don't know me, but so-and-so told me to talk to you, and I know you do this thing, and I'm a founder of this company, and would you be willing to have 10 minutes, a quick phone call with me? I'd like to tell you X, Y, and Z. And then John took the call, and then then he introduced me to the founders of Fat Brain Toys, and then that was another email, right? And then it was a phone call. And so I'm just saying, try to tap into your superpower as a founder, because I think we all have a superpower, and it's all of us, it's different, right? I think for me, my superpower that has taken me years to sort of figure out is being able to zoom out of situations and really try to figure out, what does this other person need from me? How can I be of service? How can I help them with their goals? My sister Donna, her superpower is completely different than mine, and we complement each other. And so don't be afraid to know what it is that you're so good at. So my journey of entrepreneurship has really taken me all sorts of different places. Once we partnered with Kevin, we ended up going on The View, which was super cool. I got to meet Whoopi. That was a very emotional, kind of exciting moment for me as just a young immigrant. I used to watch her movies and watch her on TV, and then getting to actually meet her and be on this, share a stage with her, felt like one of those moments that really, like, wow, I made it in some kind of twisted way. And so just so many things that happened, but I realized as a founder, it's a roller coaster. And I was just talking about this. It's a roller coaster, right? The highs are so high. Oh my God, I'm going on The View, I'm meeting Whoopi. And then the lows are so, oh my God, there's no money in the bank account. We need to pay our employees. What are we gonna do? And it's so low, and it's so crucial to figure out how we can just ride in the middle of all of that excitement and just be neutral as much as possible. And I think you do that by talking to people, asking for help, knowing that you can't do it all on your own. And I think that took me years of figuring out, of just asking and saying, hey, I need some help right now. I need to take a day off. Oh my God, take a day off. It's okay. Nothing is gonna blow up in those moments where you're feeling like, I'm trying my best, nothing's working, walk away. And so just so many different lessons. And now I love working with entrepreneurs. I love advising companies and coaching them. And it's something that brings a lot of joy along my journey now. But I wanted to sort of just share some of those things with you. I'm happy to chat more after the event, but I thought I would maybe give it to you now to share if you have any questions or anything I didn't touch on, and maybe we can open it up to the floor. Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I really honestly just wanted to hear your entrepreneurial journey. And if anybody has a question right now, please. Anybody have a question? I could go ahead and ask the first question, but do we have anybody in the audience? Here we go. What
was the biggest hurdle for you? Like, what is it?
Yeah, such a good question. Definitely, obviously, a lot of hurdles. I think growth is always one of those things where figuring out how do we scale in a way that is sustainable. And there was a lot of companies, a lot of our friends and colleagues that started other companies that were just spending so much money to grow. And they were paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to acquire a customer. And we just knew that wasn't sustainable for us. So that was definitely a big hurdle for us to get over, and figuring out, who are the right people to hire so that we are growing in a scalable way. and just not falling prey to the hype that everyone is sort of sharing of like, spend a lot in the beginning and it's okay. We never wanted to spend millions and spend other people's money. So we were very intentional about building a business that was profitable from day one. And I know you are too, so I really respect that.
Yeah, so that question was, what was the biggest hurdle that they've had? Are there any other questions? You want to come? Yeah.
If you were to go back and do it again, what would you do differently this time?
So if she had to go back and do it again, what would she do differently this time?
Such a good question also. I think when you're a first-time founder, you're very worried about failing. Failing, it's a word. It's come up, parents are worried you're gonna fail, your aunts and whoever, everyone in your ecosystem. And I think if I went back now, I would try to do the things that I was most scared of and be okay with whatever the outcome was. Because what does failing really mean, right? What does it mean? As long as you're in your health, you're good, it's okay, you can do other things. And so taking more risks is really what I would wish I could go back and just take so many more risks and create more products that I wanted to, that were kind of maybe more out there, meet people that I thought were, kind of different, and just do things for my business that didn't fit the mold of what a perfect looking business looks like.
Hi, thank you so much. That was awesome. As someone who is stepping into this world of entrepreneurship and, mustering all the courage that it takes, were you at any point before starting this company, did you have so many ideas that you didn't know which one to pick, or was this very clear for you? And how do you choose from all these different opportunities that are coming up?
Yeah, of course. So the question is, did we just know what we wanted to do, or was there a whole laundry list of ideas? And if so, how did we narrow it down to this one? So we actually had a Google Doc. And at the time I was in London, Donna was in Hollywood, and we were on different time zones. And so we had this Google Doc where we were searching all of our different ideas. We had a number of them, including hummusclub.com, because we're Lebanese. And at the time it wasn't very popular. So we were thinking, there were so many different ideas. And what we noticed, and I'm sure you will notice this as well when you start doing that, we would every day update it with different news articles, research, kind of going down the rabbit hole. And there was just this one idea that kept taking up so many pages, more than any of the other ones. And it just had legs. Something about it was infectious. We would every day want to research this, thinking about what cool activities we could give kids and how we could foster their creativity and how we could ignite them to be better individuals. And we always would say that if one day, years from now, I meet someone and they tell me, hey, I used to get this box and it's teal and orange and it made me want to be, an engineer, or made me want to be a scientist or whatever, an artist, that was enough for us. And so that idea just kept growing. And so we knew this is it. So I think if the idea that you have isn't exciting you enough, it's not going to excite you in those times when it's on a low. Yeah, of course.
Maybe I have time for one more question.
Yeah. What books, the 3 books, can you recommend that have a major impact on you in the past as well as the present?
Yeah, so I found that there are so many books along the way that I sort of read, and being an entrepreneur, I just never have so much time to read one book always cover to cover. And so what I would do is I usually have by my nightstand several books. So your question of what are the 3 books, there's, I have like 7 books. There's so many, and every day I kind of pick one that I wanted to read. But the books, I can share some specific titles, but the categories I found that are most important in terms of books for me were, I had the business category type of books. So the Ben Horowitz, that's one of my favorite books that he's written that has really helped me. So business category, and then the mindset category is so crucial. So books like The Power of Now, super important. Just books that will keep us rooted in the whole point of why we're all here as founders, why we're here to create things, right? We want to make the world a better place. So that was kind of another category for me. And then I also found it was really important to have the third category, which are books that are just frivolous, like just ridiculous. Who cares? Books that don't matter, books about being on the beach in Italy, those kinds of books. Yeah, it matters. It does. You're right. Yeah, books that were just kind of, let you escape to another place. And so I would say those are probably the three categories. And I love reading. I also noticed that audiobooks were great in times when I couldn't read, and they were helpful, as I was commuting to work. So kind of covers those three, and would love to share, happy to share some specific titles with you after. But it's a great question.
Thank you so much for that. Wow, I absolutely love the story. And that's the thing, and that's what Founders Live is a platform for. It's a platform for entrepreneurs, for early entrepreneurs to share their story. And we're going to find out from five presenters right now their story. So let me, we're going to go on to this. Yeah. Thank you. Let me just, I'm speechless. Again, just really thank you for sharing that. I think it's, we need to focus on the mindset, especially in the world we're living in today. I think that is important. There was actually one question I wanted to ask, being in business with your sister, with family, there's that saying, right? You never go into business with family. But how do the two of you actually, just in a few words, just going into business with your sister, how was that?
So I am one of four, and I'm the youngest. And so Donna and I have such a great relationship, and I think it's really important with any founders, we have no BS. So if we are, and that's what I think granted us that, the fact that we are siblings. And so if she said something that I thought was ridiculous, I didn't have to tiptoe around her and say, I think that's a valid thought. I could just say, Donna, this doesn't make any sense. I don't like the idea, or whatever. She did the same to me. And so we really kept ourselves in check. And I think it taught me the value of having that in a founder. And so every time I work with entrepreneurs, they tell me, their founder stories. And I tell them, you need to find a founder that you can be very honest with, brutally honest with. And that's what we were able to do. And another thing is when the day ends, you let the day go. You go, you have a drink together, you have dinner together, you're not obsessing over every single detail. And I think that's another thing that we were able to do well. And I hope all of you who have founders can do that with them, can just have fun and let go when you're not at the office and you're not working.
So please, we will be having some networking at the end of the pitching competition. Please, if you have more questions for Rosie, you may do so. And I wish you the best of luck in what you're currently doing and any new endeavors regarding entrepreneurship.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening to my story. I'm happy to connect with any of you offline or online. You can find me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. It's just my first and last name. And if I can be of any help, I really mean it. I wouldn't be anywhere without people helping me and giving me a hand. So I really believe in that and passing it forward.
Thank you again. You want to take a seat? Okay, so we're going to go straight into the Founders Live introduction, presentation, and then straight into the five presenters. So now if the presenters want to come closer, but yeah, you want to go ahead and just help me with the, there we go. So let me just find out how many of you in the audience have actually been to a Founders Live in-person event, anywhere in the US, or we had one in DC in 2019. Some of you were there. So I see some familiar faces. They were actually at the first one, 2019. And then we've obviously got the virtual Founders Live events going on. So please, I'll give you more information about that, how to actually access that, and for you to become members as well. Can you see the screen okay? The lighting is fine. So again, we are the ultimate of entrepreneurial experience and virtual pitch competition. Again, it's all about entrepreneurship equality. Should I do it? Oh. 1 second. So it's just
backward, forward, backward. The bottom's forward.
Okay. Cool. So we're all about inspiration, as Nick mentioned earlier. Inspiration, and I want to share this again. I know some of you know this, but one of my life mottos is connection. It's all about connection. Connection is the key to inspiration. So if you have a look around you in this room right now, I mean, I'm absolutely loving the diversity, and we're all connecting, and that connection will take you somewhere. So Founders Life is all about inspiration, the education of startups, entrepreneurship, and of course entertainment. It should all be fun as well. So we have our global community, our local community. This is what the homepage of a modern entrepreneur looks like. We've got the online, the vital connections. We've got podcasts going on. Nick is always on the podcasts. And this is typically what a live event looks like. We've got you, the guests. We've got the 5 startups, the 5 companies, only pitching in 99 seconds, 4 minutes of Q&A. We all get to vote. You, the audience, gets to vote from your mobile, and there's one winner. So the industry-defining brand for entrepreneurship around the world. Again, welcome to Mindspace. We'll have Jake saying a few words about that. And yeah, this is just a little bit about our global expansion. We've definitely got some more right now. And any of you here and watching live, if you want to start Founders Live in your city, please, that's the link, or speak to me afterwards. I want to run through our 5 core values quickly. Respectful authenticity. I think that's what respecting each person's authenticity. We include everyone, like I said, the diversity, geographical diversity. It's not only diversity and inclusion, but belonging as well. So Founders Live makes you feel like you belong. Gather around the campfire. That's basically what you're all doing. You're sharing your stories. And like I said, we are all storytellers. Open the door. Do nice things for people without expecting anything in return. And again, business equals fun. And we've actually added a 5th core value, climate consciousness. So we commit to operating our global business in a climate conscious manner, including measuring and lessening our footprint where possible. So that's it. I do want to thank our sponsors, our overall sponsors. We've got Google Cloud for startups, StoryFusion, and of course AWS. And then there are, for today, the people who have sponsored us. I'll mention that now. The drinks that you've had, that's from Shaker. That is bartending on demand. And I hope you're enjoying the drinks. And you'll hear from her later as well. She'll be pitching. We've got Green Island Bakery. Caroline at the back with the shortbread. I hope you've connected with her and spoken to her. She's got so many locations out in DC. Oh, thumbs up. And then we also have Dolce Crepes out in Vienna, Tysons area, Virginia. Those are it's the waffles, it's the crepes. They've got milkshakes, they've got juices. So we can get all the information later on too. So without any further ado, I think we're going to go off and start off with the first presenter. So that's Mayra. The name of the company is Aware Strategies. You want to come up front? Yeah. So before we get into that, so these are the 5 companies. We just switched it around a little bit because, so Orb Reality will go at the end. We'll start off with Aware Strategies. We've got Hilp, Rainbow, and Shaker. So let me hand it over to Myra. You okay with your presentation is, let's go back. So just down. So forward is down. There we go. Yeah, so forward is down and back is up. Please welcome Myra.
Good evening. I'm usually on brown people time, so hopefully I can make it through the 99 seconds. Monique, is the timer getting started?
Yes. Oh. So why don't you meet in the house? So we run our live stream.
Oh, okay.
So to speak in this area.
Okay.
I am going to start the 99 second pitch. I'm going to ask Siri to help. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey Siri. Start the 99 second timer.
All right, good evening. So I'll start with our mission. Our mission is to provide technical program consulting solutions to address our current challenges facing our society today. Our first platform is going to be the relationship between law enforcement and civilians, and we'll have many more. What is your first reaction when you get stopped by the police? Anxiety, stress. If you fit a racial profile, it's fear. Our technical solution is the I'm Aware app. It's voice activated. It has audio video recording, 24/7 call center, loved ones notifications, safety tips. The goal is to de-escalate proactively, provide transparency, accountability so you can get home safe. Public trust is broken and we need to change that. Our market strategy is to involve public officials, and so we can reach our target audience, so we can change the narrative. Yeah. The ecosystem, we plan on building a strong community, an ecosystem of like-minded individuals and like-minded businesses, so we can work together to change the narrative. We also plan on giving back to the community with our revenue. And so I'm aware, you are too. Okay. Let's try to make sure I didn't go over it.
There you go.
Okay.
You see if it can be done in 99 seconds. So
I sped through that like crazy. There's a lot of content, so I didn't know.
But so here's the thing, we do have 4 minutes of Q&A. So we do have your CEO.
Yes.
Who will join for any technical questions.
Technical questions,
But we can join up just for the questions. Are there anyone who have questions for Unaware?
Yeah.
I will start that Q&A right now. You can
Oh.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has there been any beta testing on this yet?
And one thing, so just can you repeat the question with yeah.
So first of all, I don't actually need a mic. I was really struck in my former years, so but I'll try to keep it in this area. Is that better? Is that good? Beta testing, absolutely. We've done beta testing for the last year. We're actually in a soft launch at this moment, testing to make sure that all of the tweaks that we forecast from our financial side, from our operational side, from our technical side, are meeting our expectations. And we're making those tweaks right now. But we have been beta testing, and it's actually up and running right now.
It's available.
Any more questions, please? Anyone? So Myra came up and did the presentation. It was a breath of fresh air for myself because I've been talking for years, and she did me the solid of doing this for me, and I really appreciate you doing this for me. She keeps me in line. She's the CFO. She controls all the dollars, so I have to do what she says. It's kind of like one of those.
We're a group of 7.
Exactly. Yeah. Group of 7 of individuals with various backgrounds. My background is counterintelligence. I've had experience with both law enforcement and, of course, being a minority in this world. And I have friends that are law enforcement individuals. And I wanted to create something that did both things and allow my friends who I knew that are my CrossFit buddies that are doing law enforcement, as well as my military buddies in the past are doing law enforcement, to be able to get home safe as well. Because at the end of the day, we all know we need law enforcement. It's necessary. But at the exact same time, I want to make sure that they're professional. So this app provides a healthy fear in both sides. It puts a healthy fear on the accountability for both sides. It puts a healthy fear in the transparency of what's actually going on both sides. And at the end of the day, the objective is to de-escalate the situation at the end. So the passion was in me from the beginning when I started seeing things on TV, and I said to myself, Walter, you've done so many things for the government. You've created companies. You've gone to other countries for your country and provided solutions. And I was pissed off that I couldn't find a solution that could address something that was going to affect, the United States. I've defended my country for several years, both as a military person and a DoD person. And now I'm here and I'm making money for individuals who need solutions. But I've got this issue right here in front of me that's bothering me. And I had 4 or 5 nights of not sleeping and thinking my 50-year-old son is going to be driving soon. And regardless of what I've done for the several communities and police departments from a computer forensics perspective, if I showed up to help my son in that situation, that's 2 people that they have to deal with. And I didn't want to escalate that situation. So I said to myself, how can I create something? How can I use my talent, my knowledge to create something that's a technologically advanced component that everybody has, which is a smartphone, right? Because a smartphone is a computer, right? It's a computer, it's a camera, eye camera. It's everything we want it to be, to include the dictionary. How can I take that device that you currently have and provide some type of solution that will help both sides of the table? Because at the end of the day, we all agree that police are what? They're human. They have bad days just like we have bad days. So why should I provoke this individual who's probably already had a bad day? But somebody says he has a gun. That's not something that we want to do, right? So this app provides that policeman a reassurance that the individual that has the subscription knows what they should be doing. And at the exact same time, this call center person is sitting there with the subscriber saying one thing and one thing only. Stay calm. You don't have to run. It's going to be okay. I'm here. Your point of contact, knowing where you are. And at the end of the day, that policeman feels better about that situation going up to that car because he knows he's dealing with someone who is not going to do anything catastrophic that could possibly hurt him from getting harmed. So the app is a way where we can bridge the gap between how the community is broken and is not trusting law enforcement and allowing law enforcement to do their job, but do it in the most professional manner possible. That makes sense, guys? What do you think? Question? Yes. I don't read books.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
I knew you were going to say about some books. I don't read any books. I watch TV.
That's all right.
What do you got?
I like watching TV.
Okay. Sorry. Sir.
Yes. So if I was driving and I got pulled over, because I have friends in law enforcement
Yes.
as well, and they stereotype whatever the situation is, and I feel like they prejudge me or whatever. So I dial.
You dial nothing. This thing is voice activated. You say something, it pops up. The call center person is online with you, and they are now watching and or listening to the activities going on with you with that actual police person. Now, here's the kicker. As we're doing this, we're also going to the police chief and say, hey, this app is out there. These subscribers have this information. What do you want to see specific from our subscribers in your area so that you can feel safe when your patrollers are going out to patrol? So it's a two-sided thing. It's all about information, right? If you have information, you have less anxiety. I have to go. I can talk all day.
And we'll speak more at the next one. But thank you for this.
Thank you, guys.
What a great app. She did great. Both of you did. Okay, so we have our next one, Elizabeth, who is going to be introducing us to her app called Hilp.
When do we start? Am I good? When I was in high school, all my friends were going to proms and college visits, but this was me. I was going from doctor visit to doctor visit. I was misdiagnosed for over 4 years, and my doctors gave me a terminal diagnosis when all of my friends were starting off on college. I was desperate to find a solution that works. I went all over the web to find any answers I could or to find anyone who had my condition who got better. But I wasn't the only one who's going on the web to find health solutions. 80% of internet users have used the web to find a solution or to find health answers. But here's the thing, the patient voice is missing. Where can we go to talk to people who can relate and who can share what helps and what works? And so that's why I founded Hilp. Hilp is a health tech platform that connects patients to community and to crowdsource solutions. The way it works is you connect patients on a one-to-one basis who have the same health conditions, similar passions and interests. We also connect you to business partners like NGOs and advocacy groups. And we also crowdsource solutions. So people share the top tips, the top tricks that have helped them. We collect all the solutions, aggregate it, and publish it back. It's a massive market with 2.3 billion people that have a health issue in this world, but we're targeting young adults with chronic illnesses. Our business model is to sponsor surveys and also do clinical trial recruitment. And without further ado, I would love any questions on this.
I was wondering, how do you plan to address misinformation?
Before we publish any results, what we do is we aggregate the results. It's not something where people take a survey and it's immediately published. A medical board looks at the results, and then after that, they give suggestions. They say, hey, this sounds kind of off, but this is what other people are doing. And then we publish the results after a medical board review. Here we have people taking surveys, but that's not immediately published to the world.
I have a question. Yes. Awesome job. I love all the visuals. What stage are you at now in your company?
Yeah, so we have around a 9,000 person wait list, and we have, we're launching next month actually, and where am I going? Anywho, I have a slide on that, but we're currently in pre-launch.
So how does this information differ from any other information that you can find in pharmaceutical companies that actually manufacture the drugs themselves and actually display all of the data for adverse events and disease and other?
So how? I'm sorry. So how does this differ than? Yeah, so when you're sick, it's not just a medical issue, your whole life changes. You're in a hospital bed for months and you're taking a pause in your life. And when you go back to the real world, all your friends are in different stages. And so, yeah, there's medical questions that doctors are telling you about, researchers can tell you about, but like the realities of the life toll that a health condition has, that's what our platform addresses. It's a medical issues that you have, but also alongside that, the social implications, like going on a date with a guy and having to tell him that you have a health condition. So many people have been ghosted after that topic. And or like, hey, like what did you try to get better? There's so many implications for what we're doing. And let's be real, doctors don't try what they prescribe. And so that's what our platform is doing, is connecting you to people who've done it, tried it, and can tell you like what's worked and what hasn't worked. Yes.
What's your revenue strategy?
So we're going to be using our platform for clinical trial recruitment. We can easily like it's similar to how LinkedIn Messages works, where you get a targeted message from like a job recruiter. We can easily target based on age, medical condition, location, even social issues, and also the survey platform that I displayed. What we'll be able to do is have sponsored surveys. So a company can say, hey, like I want data on how college students with chronic illnesses, what they do to like seek mental health care. Do they go to therapy? Do they do something different? So we can partner with different groups that want different information on patients, and then we can give that information to them. Yes.
How do you follow up with the regulations?
So the way that, so how do we deal with HIPAA regulations? So our platform is HIPAA compliant. Our team we are specialists at creating HIPAA compliant platforms. So that concludes I'm happy to answer that afterwards as well. Awesome, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go straight into the next presentation. And yeah, just a reminder, those of you at the back, please, while the presenter is speaking, let's just respect his presentation and just keep it down, keep it quiet. You want to come up, Michael?
Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Carlin. It's my privilege to present to you Rainbow, Social Media Redefined. As we all know, social media has a big problem. I don't need to go into the details, but there's just tremendous problems in social media, so we need to find solutions to them.
We'll start that over. Sorry about that technical difficulty.
Thanks. So yeah, so as just said, social media has a big problem. So we need to find solutions to that. We believe that for Rainbow, absolute authenticity is a solution. We are the first social media app designed from the bottom to ensure healthy and realistic relationships. We have our videos are recorded personally, live, and are uploaded to the app with very little touch-up and very little manipulation. We want our posts and our interaction to be genuine, personal. Everything will be real, courteous, and mostly free of hate. We have a universal appealing interface that's been tested and already validated. This is an example of the pictures that we have or the videos that we have. We have already 4,000 users from a very small marketing budget. As an example, Be Real, which is a competitor app, has already raised $30 million. They have 8 million installs, but if you notice, their signups are only 10% approximately of their downloads. So they're just getting a lot of downloads and a lot of uses. We've only spent $13,000 in ads and marketing. We have 4,000 downloads, and we have about 3,000 people actively using the site. If you have any questions, I'm a director of the company. I can refer you to the the CEO. I can answer questions. And like Rosie, our CEO, is an immigrant from Lebanon. So thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the floor with Q&A. Whoever's asking questions, you want to just come up and ask them like, or otherwise we just have to repeat the question for the viewers.
I should repeat the question.
Yes, just for other viewers to read.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Michael?
Yes.
Okay, here we
Hi,
go.
please.
So
You want to come up? Or?
Yeah, come up. We need to hear you on the mic.
What are your strategies for customer acquisition?
So, I mean, there'll need to be.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the question. The answer is that we have to use a lot of digital marketing, a lot of interaction. So it has to be a budget where basically people are presented with the app, shown what it can do, and then they can use it. Of course, they have questions that can be answered, and they understand what they're being involved with. So the few users we have, they're just people almost were in tears, like this is real, not like TikTok or Instagram, which I have to fake it and spend hours to get trending and all that. So it's getting the word out. It does require capital and require expenditure. Thank you.
So I understand your app is still growing right now, but most times when companies tend to grow larger, they tend to prioritize profits over the people. So perhaps now it's going to be real and it's not like Instagram or TikTok. But when people start getting more involved and they want to get more followers and influencers and all that, how are you going to mitigate all that?
Thank you very much. We are planning to implement a Web3 strategy or a blockchain strategy so that people will own their own. So people will own their own data, their own videos. They can monetize them, and they can do that with themselves. Also, there's potential to put ads immersed in the videos themselves depending on what the users want, they can get compensated for that. And of course, the app can make some of the profit from that type of implementation. But it would be up to the users to ultimately decide how much of that stuff they want or not want on their app. So thank you.
Anything else you want to anything else you want to say? Otherwise.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have our final presenter, Roy Feinstein, and we're going to just do a quick change here. Roy, you want to come up? While he's coming up, I need to share this. So I'm from South Africa. Roy is from South Africa, I discovered, and it's the South African National Freedom Day today. So yeah, I think it's Happy National Freedom Day. So that's a cool thing. I hope you can tell by the accent. But yeah, I'm gonna have Roy do his pitch. Let me start the nice.
Hi there. I want to introduce to you today an entirely new way of viewing your videos online or elsewhere. And we seem to have a bit of a technical issue.
I got you. Here you
Our technology uses no extra equipment, doesn't require any VR headsets. It can be viewed over normal Wi-Fi or 4G, and it allows you to seamlessly move around the scene that's filmed and control your viewing angle, the camera that you're watching. You can zoom in, pause, and many more features. You can even watch a sporting event and create a video of your favorite player and share that video with your friends. We feature a traveling sound, so if you're watching a music video, you can zoom around the scene, you can pick your favorite musician, and as you zoom in, the sound will zoom in as well, so you can isolate a particular instrument. We have an orbital rig coming, which will allow directors to film from any angle, including above and below the scene, to create an extremely intimate experience, which I'll leave to your imagination at this point. We're protected by 2 issued patents. We have 2 more on the way, and it covers both the filming and the broadcasting of our technology. So I have a 7-year-old son who really literally cannot believe that before we'd have to plug our phones into the wall to make a phone call. And I really believe that in the future, his kids will not understand that we would watch video passively and not be able to fully interact with the video. And that's it in a nutshell. And thank you for the questions.
I did make a little bit of a mishap. We do have another presenter after this. But yeah, we're going to start the 4 minutes Q&A. Do we have any questions for Roy?
Hi. Yeah, so the question was about copyright problems. Most of the videos that we will be doing will be created by us or our licensees. If we're going to do an NFL broadcast, as you saw there, and we share it, we're not sharing the actual video, we're simply sharing the instructions for the specific design that you want to see. So this will be done in conjunction with the NFL, and it's a way that broadcasters who are constantly looking for new technologies to get people engaged, so people will be able to watch the Super Bowl literally and control the game that they see. Instead of just passively engaged in the game, they'll be able to actually move around, zoom around, stop the motion, continue the motion. In effect, you're on the field. You're not quite on the field, but you have almost any angle that you want to view it on. Does that answer the question? Okay. Hi.
How does your platform take advantage of scaling for many users trying to interact with the system at the same time? The industry is as large as
Okay, so the question was scalability. We intend to be using backend servers like AWS or any other media servers. We can easily scale up to millions of viewers at the same time. So if there is a Super Bowl event, everybody watching the event will see a different game because they're controlling their own viewing angle. And there's some very cool effects that obviously I didn't have time to show, but if you visit our website, we're currently in stealth mode because we have not launched. We do have a fully working version that's both browser and app compatible. And if you look at the password, it's Orb, and you can see a lot more of the features. Hi.
And so, with music artists and bands, so how do you have it set up where are you guys actually coming out, or are you using an app, or perhaps they're doing the show?
Okay, so initially what we plan on doing is approaching some of the largest stars that are planning on putting a music video on the web. Now, what makes this completely unique, no one's ever seen it before, is that they can watch the video as a normal viewer would. But if they just happen to scroll across their phone, they'll see this effect occur. So we'll have a license arrangement with the performer, and it'll boost their sales, create more user engagement. And when we launch, we want to do it in a big way, with a big splash. So we're going to be doing quite a few performances. And eventually this will be ubiquitous on the web. It doesn't make sense to just watch a video when you can actually immerse yourself and control the video at the same time. So the real trick was in the technology to stuff all that data through the internet with just a regular Wi-Fi connection. We've solved it, we've patented it, we've tested it, and we've built it. So we're ready to go. Is there anyone else? All right, drinks.
Thank you, Roy. And our final presenter, Rochelle from Shaker. It's still going. There we go, okay.
Working on it.
So yeah, we've just got a bit of a flyer. There we go.
So in March of 2020, the world as we know it came to a screeching halt. The pandemic changed so many industries, but the hospitality and nightlife industries were particularly hard hit. Seemingly overnight, 4 million hospitality workers became unemployed, myself and many of my friends included. For years, I had this idea of a bartending on-demand service. It was one of those things living rent-free, as people like to say, inside my head, just occupying space. Midway through the pandemic, bars and nightlife were still closed, but people began to get a little more comfortable gathering. Shaker began as a solution for those looking to gather, but in a more intimate, safe setting, and for those who were unemployed looking to make some extra cash. I saw Shaker as the Uber for bartenders, where we would bring the bar home to you. You all have gotten a little taste of that tonight, I can see. We can create custom cocktail menus, provide bars and liquor. We've done everything from as high-end as weddings to as casual as happy hours, and everything in between. Post-pandemic, we have also begun to transition from just B2C to B2B as well. Every industry is short-staffed right now, particularly restaurants and bars, and they have begun reaching out to us to staff their locations. Our staff, or the Shaker Squad as I like to call them, is held to the Shaker standard. They not only craft incredible cocktails and look good doing it, but create and curate a memorable experience for all those involved. They're like the conductors of the evening. We provide service work staffing for not just when employees call out or are short-staffed, but have exclusive contracts to various hospitality groups who know we have access to some of the best in the industry. There are several, okay. Well, there are several similar apps that exist, which means there's a market for this kind of service, but we prioritize building our brand and a culture within the community.
can go straight into the 4 minutes of Q&A. Do we have any questions for Rochelle? Okay.
Is Shaker currently only servicing the DMV, and if so, do you have any plans to branch out to other cities?
So the question was, is Shaker currently only servicing the DMV, and do we have plans to branch out to other cities? So we are currently only servicing the DMV. I really want to focus on building the company culture and brand and like cementing our position. And I think by doing that, it'll like give us a stronger foothold. But we definitely plan on expanding to New York, LA, Miami eventually. We have had events in other cities though, because certain clients just love the company, love the brand, and they've flown our staff out for those events. Yes, Rosie.
Thank you for, that was so great. I love that you took us on kind of a story as you were doing your pitch, so I love your pitch.
Thank you.
Quick remark. But I was wondering, are there specific niches that you're going after, like private parties, pop-ups? What is your sweet spot? What makes you the most revenue?
So honestly, right, the question was, are there any specific like niches that we're going after right now? So is it just like very casual, or is it more like dinner parties or things that are a little more high end? And where's our biggest profit margins? I eventually see Shaker being something that it's like, I want it to be an app where, you know, you're just having like a girls' night and you're like, I want a bartender, and you'll put in your like metrics for what you're looking for. I want to spend $300. I want someone who can craft like pretty good cocktails. They don't have to be like a serious mixologist, and someone who has experience, you know, at this kind of restaurant. And it'll populate with the people who are available. But right now we just tend to find that people are using it for more high-end events whenever it's something they're planning. And I'm trying to create the culture around it that it becomes something a little more casual. For us right now though, the biggest things that have been profitable are our pop-up events. So we actually just got a deal with Officina at the Wharf to do a like Shaker series, as we're going to call it, throughout the summertime every Saturday. So come see us. Starting May 7th and then taking up every Saturday the 14th, where we come in with our staff and take over the venue and do like a custom cocktail menu and kind of give people a taste of what the Shaker experience is about. Yes.
So let's say you choose to do private events. How do you ensure the safety of the bartender who may go to a private event? What's your safety plan for them? And then the second part of my question is small intimate event and large event. How do you understand to ensure that people are safe?
Really good questions. So first part of the question was that how do you ensure the safety of your staff when people are going to private residences? We've begun, so the company was started basically friends of mine hosting events, and now we're getting bigger and bigger. So right now we're just taking referrals based off of like if you've had an event and we meet you. And then we start to do background checks as well and holding deposits and things like that. When we become an app, it would be one of those things where there'd be a deposit taken and kind of the bartender would have access to something that if they feel uncomfortable or, you know, like something's making them not feel safe, that they're able to leave the event and like not have to worry about not getting paid. So there's all that safety, and there would be a button they can click, so they have like access to like 911 immediately. And then the second part of the question was, with COVID, how do you adapt to cleanliness standards? So we actually, okay, sorry, 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Rochelle.
Voting, but we are going to chat about what we thought about this experience. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, she made it through. Here's Monique talking about the prize package for the winners, considerable prizes. I am so proud of her. You know, this is really cool to see her just, you know, try so hard and like cover all these bases. Presenters are going to screw up. You're going to have technical glitches. We're on a live show. You know, we've been doing this a while and we'll still have screw ups. So she's keeping composure Monique is just doing an awesome job keeping everybody rolling. She's even paying attention to my text messages while she's doing it. So yeah, well done for Monique Frey.
Yeah, we're just giving a shout out to DC and Monique Frey and all her help there, Mindspace and, their employees there. We just want to thank them so much. And it's so cool. It's fun. Sit in the background here a little bit. We can pop back on the screen. And, for everyone, look, you have a QR code up there. You see the link down below. Go there and vote. 1 vote per email. That's how we keep track here. But the votes are already flying in. This is going to be exciting. So usually it takes, 5 or 10 minutes they take a little break there in the room, go grab another drink, votes come in, and we'll then hear who is the winner. But, Luis, hey, we did a pre-show. We did a preview. We just now heard all the pitches. Beginning thoughts here. And then we'll touch on, just going from, we did the preview to each one. It was pretty cool. But what are your opening thoughts on this?
Well, I think we saw the full spectrum of presentations here from some people who were, the last one, Shaker, didn't even have slides. She was just going off founder's knowledge. And, she had a lot to say. She had a great presentation verbally. I think if she'd had slides, it would have really sealed the deal. But it's awesome when you just can tell stories and engage the crowd even when there's nothing else to look at. She really knew what she was talking about. And then if you rewind to the top of the to the top of the thing, we had kind of an unconventional thing where the CFO made the presentation and was going off reading off slides at times, and brought in the founder. It seemed to me I missed a little bit of the introduction. But he came in to answer some of the questions. So we got a little wild card action there. Have you seen that happen before?
We have. I have seen, a lot of times there will be one founder, whether it's a CEO or, the person that gives the pitch. And then after they're done with the pitch, kind of like 1 or 2 more people join as the team that want to maybe be there for the questions. Answer the question, especially if it's like a technical project. And so the CTO comes up and can actually answer some of those technical questions. But that's pretty cool.
That's an interesting technique to have, some bench players. I think that's underused perhaps. And we'll see if people start adapting that.
Yeah. Wish that you all could see this. I'm seeing the votes they're coming in. We got some totals here and it's exciting. So, Luis, you let's go around the who did you predict that you thought, based on the quick overview before in our pre-show of Center Stage, and then who did you predict?
So I predicted Help, which is how we, by the way, found out how it's pronounced, Help.
Yep.
I kind of had a feeling that since they had a really nicely designed site and kind of covered some of the details around communicating with the audience, including having active social media channels and even replying to our tweet, which I didn't find out until after the prediction, but that just follows form. I kind of thought that they would do a good job with the presentation. I think I was right. How about you?
Yeah, I would. I personally, these are all great pitches, and it's awesome to hear all these companies and projects. I did feel that Help did. She told a story. She brought some emotion into it. I did feel that she, touched on most of the things that are suggested. Now, great time to even drop in. Last Center Stage episode and pre-show, we had Melissa Reeves, who is with her company is Story Fruition, and she actually gave us her 3 main tips for the pitch and crafting your best pitch and all that. And she obviously really talked about the storytelling aspect and how important that was. And I think Help was a good example of utilizing that. Not sure if she found some information from Melissa or she did it herself, but I felt like she did a good job of bringing that in.
Yeah. Any learning opportunities from tonight's presentations? We had, like a couple minor technical things. What would you give advice to presenters who are considering maybe multimedia presentations? If I can salt the tip jar here a little.
Yeah. Adding video into your pitch experience can be very tricky. And, look, we're good here. We support startups and we support entrepreneurs, but we also have the time limit. And, it's important that, you got 99 seconds. You heard Monique. She's telling Siri to start 99 seconds. I love that. And your time starts. And, when you are preparing your pitch for Founders Live, and hey, everyone, this could at some point end up being in front of many, many more people watching around the world. You cannot afford to have a technical glitch. You just you can't. And so my suggestion would be, when you prepare your pitch, you're looking to putting building blocks in place for the best pitch in that 99 seconds possible, removing the possibility of things getting in your way, like technical glitches and, the video's not working, because that does not make you look very good.
Mm-hmm.
And, for instance, tonight, look, great. The technology looks awesome, which I'm going to ask you in a second about that. But when your time is going and now you're like, the video's not, clock is ticking. And, we're not really going to stop it and go over and fix it. These are the things you need to think about. So I think it's a really important, hey, just slides. Walk through your story, have your slides, and save the video stuff for a different experience. That's coming from me, and I've seen thousands of pitches now.
Yeah, and also have a plan B. If something's not working on screen, be ready to hit that eject button on that presentation or whatever it is, and have your backup plan. Just talk to the audience and let the slides go. Like, you got to keep that rhythm is more important necessarily than what they're seeing.
Yeah. That's another amazing tip, right? You got to think on your feet, and you basically have a default, if there's, so a good example is your beginning slide should for sure have your logo, and it's a good background holding slide. So if for some reason the clicker is not working, you can just run with your pitch, and you got your logo there, and you just say, we're just going to go through this. Things like that, right? Just having the go-to, what do I flip to if something goes wrong? Because you just want to roll with the punches and get your pitch through, versus your stop, you totally make it awkward and something's not working, so that's that. Yeah.
So how are we doing on voting? Are we getting close to announcing?
Voting's looking good. We're watching. Let's jump into some audio. And no, so she's not ready yet. So they're still moving around. Monique's gonna find out. She'll check the results.
She texted me and asked if we were going to give her the results, and I said yes. So she could be waiting on us.
So we will send her the results. And let's do that. So we're gonna make sure.
Maybe she is announcing or something. I don't know.
We're gonna get the winner. We're gonna get the results in a few seconds.
Okay.
All right, everyone. This is the time.
The moment of truth.
So let me just repeat this for you guys. All the presenters tonight received $5,000 in AWS credits, and the winner receives $10,000 in AWS credits. Besides some other goodies, these are the other prizes they get, and because they joined the Founders Live platform, there's so many other things for them to receive. Nick and Luis, do we have a winner?
Yes, we do.
Okay, guys, can we quiet down? We've got a winner. And when they announce the winner, I want you to come up front, and Rosie and I will just continue to do some more Q&A.
Drum roll.
should have had some music, but yeah, we do a drum roll.
You got it, Nick?
Yeah. Our winner tonight is Aware Strategies LLC.
Yay! Where are you? So we want Myra and Walter to come up front. So, wow, congratulations, well done. The two of you can have a seat, or I don't know, stand, have a seat, but yeah, stand, have a seat, yeah. So, but make sure that you're standing so that the other viewers can see as well. Just again, another round of applause to I'm Aware Strategies. So I'm going to hand it over to,
Super excited. This is our first venue that we've attended. We just launched, well, we have soft launch. We are on the Apple and Google store as of last week. So just starting out and super excited.
Thank you guys for voting. Thank you to all of the other contestants. Your presentations were great. Your technology and ideas are great. And that's what this forum is all about. To bring those technologies in front of people, those ideas, foster, grow, and share. So I'm looking forward to the shaker, because we're going to be doing events. Yes. We're going to need a mixologist. So yes, please. But thank you guys for listening, for all of your vibes and energy. It was well appreciated, and we're here to try to change the community. We're making it better.
Is there perhaps a question or two from the audience that you didn't get to ask earlier? Let's just ask our winner a question.
Yeah, if you guys haven't yet,
Alex.
I think it's a great concept, by the way. If you guys haven't yet, have you considered offering the service in other languages to reach other communities?
That's a great question, and I know why you asked it. Alex, do you want to just say why? So, yeah, just tell us a little bit more of it.
I founded, I started my own language services company, and we provide interpreters primarily in healthcare and to major healthcare systems here in Northern Virginia.
Thank you. See, this is exactly what Founders Live platform is. Everybody's connecting, everybody's collaborating, so.
Well, we will have it in Spanish at some point, but.
So phase one was to get it out there, let people see it, understand it, share the ideas. It's a piece of clay that we want the community to help us mold. But to your point, yes, we're going to have a bilingual component coming in really, really soon. There's going to be a family pack coming in soon. I don't know if you guys have experienced with the Google Play and the Apple world. It's very exhausting. The gauntlet of things you have to go through to get approved. One of the things that they say from a family pack perspective is there's a maximum of 5 that you can do on a family pack. We know that we want to go and engage with organizations who might want to get this to their employees. We're going after Geico at some point because we want to put this into the cars. We want to put this into insurance components and make these companies give back to their users and their subscribers, just like we're trying to get back into the actual community. But yes, we are going after bilingual. We're doing Spanish first. I have a partner who has family in Canada. He said, well, you got to do it in French. And at this point, we're looking to expand. So let's have some conversation, talk about some things. Absolutely.
And another language, Afrikaans. Afrikaans in South Africa, and I think we need an app like this in South Africa. Yes, definitely.
We're hearing that. We're hearing that this is something that can go in several different countries, so we're prepared for it.
I wanted to ask you, how can we support you? We're here, we're invested in your idea. How can we help what you're doing?
This is your time.
Okay. Well, start talking about it, socialize it, subscribe, look at our website, provide comments. If you feel that you have any information for us or you would like us to do something different, let us know. we're welcome to update everything. We're trying to make this for the community service, and the whole thing is to save lives. So.
Absolutely. That's the main mission, is to try to save some lives, get the input from individuals. And as I said before, we're talking with law enforcement as well, because we want them to get home safe as well. The safer they feel, the more comfortable they'll be able to do their job. And that's the main thing. And the ones that are not being professional, this is that healthy fear that they need to do their job. You can have your opinion about who you're pulling over. That person may look like somebody that you don't like, but at the end of the day, you still have to be professional. And I think we've all experienced some level of unprofessionalism in other types of careers and fields. And guess what? These people are human as well. So let's give them the opportunity to be professional and put that healthy fear into place and say, hey, this app is going to provide the transparency of the activity. And whether a technical default happens on a body cam or not, guess what? There's some other information that's being recorded as well that's sitting in the cloud waiting for it.
All right, round of applause. Congrats. Does anyone want to who's their friend who can take a good photo of that? I know you are. Let's go. Let's take a nice photo of you up here, solo.
Our winner.
Yeah.
All right, Luis, what do you think, man? Like, it's beautiful. Another great Founders Live. We got a winner. Aware technologies and strategies.
Yeah.
We're excited about them. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think this shows that there are, you can overcome a little awkwardness in a presentation. You can have a strong message that connects with people. I loved hearing what they said in the audience. That last question, or near the last question, someone said, "We're here. We're invested in you. How can we help?" I mean, that is connecting with people. That's something he's saying there is resonating with the crowd, with the people in DC, and who see potential for this company, locally and beyond, because they're also asking about, other languages. And so there's a lot of, it's great when people want to know where it's going, what can they do? Using the word investment is not a bad thing in this realm that we're in.
Absolutely.
Even though that's more of an emotional investment, there's certainly, looking for funding at some point.
So great. As we come to the close of this show, we want to share with you, hey, this is the season. This is our upcoming season calendar and schedule.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, before the presentations and the pitches started, we have a huge lineup, and we're looking at May 11th, Lagos, Nigeria. That's a Wednesday. All these events, all Founders Live Center Stage experiences are on Wednesdays. So we will be coming from Lagos, Nigeria. Amazing startups there. We're really excited for our special guest, Eunice, who is she's the founder of AGM Capital, that specifically invests in early stage African startups. And we're going to have her join the show, and she's going to talk about early stage, fundraising, really supporting the next generation of African startups and founders. So excited. Look at that list. What are you excited about, man?
I love it. I love that we're hitting the big continent of Africa. That is going to be great. The people there who present and support just always come up with great ideas. There's such great energy in Nigeria and Zimbabwe and all the other countries and cities that we're in. Also, it's been a while since we heard from Latin America. So to have Bogota is wonderful. Really looking forward to that. And then we go right into Indonesia, Jakarta. I mean, this is the heart of one of the biggest moving areas for Founders Live. So there's sure to be something really special going on at that event. And that rolls right into Nashville, who are also new like Washington, D.C., and also just killing it. So that's huge. And don't let me skip over May 18th, Houston. Oleg, that's going to be one of his first events. He did one before, and this is his second event, and he's already going with center stage because he's already doing such a great job rallying the community and making an experience for everyone.
Oh, this lineup is exciting. The the cities in colors are simply because that's actually a link that goes to the YouTube channel, the live stream. And so, those are the ones that are lined up, it's about 8, 7 or 8. And then we obviously have going into the summer and into the fall. I mean, y'all, look at this. It's like, the only big thing better would be to have jumping on a plane and going to all these, which, that might happen at some point, but
I would love that.
we're just diving right in there virtually. And, so excited here, and we're going to wrap up. That is, that's the show. So if you're watching on this, what's happening is now, people go back into the networking, music on, grab another drink. All the founders are going to get asked more questions, and it's a fun experience. Yes, we're jealous that we're not there, but we're here. And, we're here bringing this to you. So, Luis, I want to give you the last word here as we go forth for the closing up the Founders Life Center stage live from Washington, D.C. this evening.
Well, I want to thank everybody who's viewing at home who took time to out of their day to plug in here on YouTube Live and connect with us and see what's going on in DC. I know it's a brand new experience. We're building and we're making it better each time out. This is a fun part for us as with Founders Live, making something out of nothing. So thank you for joining us. Thanks to all the presenters. Thanks to Mindspace in DC for sponsoring the space, to Shaker for serving the booze, and just everybody involved. And again, congratulations to Monique as a city leader. Anybody out there who thinks this is something special and wants to serve their own community of founders, we have cities all over the world. We have cities that we can expand into. We have cities where we exist. Get in touch with us, founderslive.com/expand or expand.founderslive.com.
Yeah. Hit the website, reach out to us. We're here for you, and we would love to bring Founders Live to your city. With that, Luis, we close up another week of Founders Live Center Stage. And with that,
we'll be back in 2 weeks.
We will be back in 2 weeks, everyone. All right. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your evening, morning, whatever point in the day it is. And we will see you later, May 11th, coming live from Lagos, Nigeria. All right, everyone.
Sweet.